This is Oleg. Say hi. And this is one of the guys who we've been bringing stuff to. And I'll just ask him, what's going on. He's back in Kyiv for a week. And where are you going next? Do you know?
South of Ukraine.
And do you know exactly like what you'll do there, or you'll show up and see depending on the situation?
I don't know for sure. I can only guess. It depends on what unit we're gonna be joining next.
So you're in the middle of like a reorg of where you were and where you're going.
Yes.
You think that you'll be more effective after this reorganization?
Of course, yeah. We're gonna be more effective, and like my guys for the last 4 months were fighting as volunteers with no salary, no support from the government, no support with ammo, transportation.
So you bought everything yourself?
Yes.
Like your guns, your ammo, your like bulletproof vests?
Yes, everything. Everything was bought using money that people were donating. And right now we wanna change that. We wanna join official Ukrainian army. And we're in the middle of this process, and when it's done, we're gonna go back to where we were before, but we're gonna be doing some other jobs.
Will the army support you like better? Do you expect that they'll give you all the equipment you need?
They would give us weapons and ammo, and that would be super. That would be enough, but we hope to get some special equipment from them, like maybe drones, maybe some anti-tank weapons and stuff like that.
These drones, is that something like a consumer drone that someone can buy and give to you, or it's like special kind of military drone?
I hope we will get special drones, but I'm not sure if we will, because demand is so high at the moment. Like I hope that we will get some anti-drone equipment that would allow us to fight Russian drones. That would be awesome.
So it's my understanding that it's like an artillery battle now, but it's also drones are a big part of this.
Yes, of course. Drones are being used for intelligence and for correcting the artillery fire. Yeah.
So when you say anti-drone weapon, do you mean like something that shoots out radio waves, or actually shooting the drone down?
No, radio waves.
And that's enough to like make their drone crash?
It jams all the connectivity of the drone with the operator, and it's enough to land the drone.
Land it means like make it crash, basically.
It could be either hard.
Capture it.
Yes, it could be either hard or light landing.
And can you reuse these drones?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
And it's like the same thing that Russia uses. Ukraine also uses this, same, like Orlan 10 or something like that.
No, we're talking about like DJI.
Oh, I
drones.
see. I see. So this anti-drone weapon is like some kind of consumer product you can buy, or it's like a military
you can't actually buy. I mean, you can buy it, but only if you are part of the official Ukrainian army.
But what about like outside of Ukraine?
In theory, you can buy it. I'm not sure about importing, but I'm sure we can buy it somewhere in Europe.
Do you know how much they cost?
In Ukraine made cost about $12,000. It's much more in Europe.
I see. Interesting. And then you said that you also are wanting drones for your own usage. These are consumer level drones, like DJI, or something better.
At least DJI. At least, like, I mean, even if we had DJI, would be awesome.
So even if someone goes and buys some random DJI drone and sends it to you, you'll use it somehow.
Yes, of course.
Like for surveillance, or for attaching those like 3D printed
for surveillance mostly.
How do you feel about the like the preparedness of your unit now? Like, do you need more training from the West, or do you have enough training, or you don't have time for training, or what is your situation?
We need more training, but we don't have time for training. Like I would say maximum 2 weeks. If we go through some kind of training, it should be maximum 2 weeks, because I'm afraid we don't have enough time for that. So all my guys are, as I said, volunteers. Some of them are mechanics, drivers, bookkeepers, you name it. And we have only 2 professional soldiers in our unit. That's it. And everybody had to learn as we went through this war.
And who was teaching them?
We have some instructors from Ukraine. They're working with us for the last, I would say, 40 days. We've been through some intense training.
But you still need 2 more weeks.
Yeah, at least 2.
And do you think you'll be able to get these 2 weeks, or there's no time for it?
It depends on the situation at the front lines.
It's meaning if it gets better, then you'll have more time for training?
Yes.
I see. But if it's bad, then they'll send you there
Yes.
as urgently
Yes.
as possible.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to get better or worse at the front?
It's gonna get worse. It has to.
It has to, because there's not enough support from the West, or there's not
Because Russia's not gonna stop at where they are, and they are sending more and more troops, and their goal is still the same. They want to come and take over Kyiv.
How can people outside of Ukraine help you in your guys at the front?
We need guns, but obviously, like, people cannot send guns to Ukraine.
Yeah. Can you buy guns in Ukraine?
No. I mean, we need like Javelins and stuff like that.
Oh.
So.
But what about all the Javelins that are getting sent, like, from the U.S.? They're not going to.
No, they are going to. Like, we've been using.
You've used them
Javelins,
before.
yes, yeah.
And it works great.
It works perfect.
You just need more of them.
Yes.
Do you expect to get more of them?
I don't know. I hope so. I mean, I know that the stuff that has been sent from US is on the way, and we expect to get it sometime in July.
Like your group specifically should
No,
get some.
like the
like
whole
Ukraine in
Ukrainian
general.
army. Yeah.
And then hopefully your group will get some from there.
Yeah,
when
of course.
they're distributed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people, like, what people can do is help us to buy some specific stuff that we can't buy here in Ukraine. And some stuff is very expensive. We cannot afford to buy it. So and people were so generous, and they've been buying and sending a lot of stuff already. Unfortunately, we need more.
What percentage would you say you have in terms of, if you were 100% equipped and you had everything you needed, how far away from that are you?
50%.
And that 50%, that second 50% is probably the more expensive 50%, if I had to guess. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
So just purely theoretical question, how much would it cost to fully arm your group?
I have no idea, because I don't know the prices, but I don't know. I'm not ready to answer that question.
And a lot of stuff presumably is not available for
Yeah.
sale for the average person. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking stuff like very expensive military radios and night vision stuff and stuff like that.
But now you have some kind of radio and night vision.
Yes, we have some, but it's like at the moment. I'm not gonna tell the numbers, but I would say my unit is only 15% equipped with the night vision devices.
And in theory, like, every person should have
Yes.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same with the radios. I mean, we don't have enough. I mean, we have just a few that we can use, but like in theory, every soldier should have a radio.
What are some other things that are missing that are like consumer level that can be purchased outside of Ukraine?
Radios, drones, night vision, satellite phones, so basically everything that has to do with connection. I mean, like radio connection, cell phone connect, and stuff like that, and surveillance.
Mm-hmm. Do you have things for your weapons like scopes, ammo?
Well, I'm not even talking about that.
Yeah.
We don't have like my sniper, my marksman doesn't have a scope. Like he's we are looking. I mean the night vision scope. Mm-hmm. He has an ordinary scope, but he needs a night vision scope.
Yeah. To
be able to work at night, and yeah.
Do you know like what kind of scope would work for his weapon?
He knows. I have no idea. He knows.
Mm-hmm. What about other groups that work alongside you? Like, you know, the next guy is down the front on your side. Are you better equipped than they are, or less equipped?
In some meaning, we're better equipped
because of volunteers bringing you stuff.
Yes. But now, when we're going to join the official Ukrainian Army Special Ops Unit, I'm afraid we won't be equipped enough to do what we would have to do.
Mm-hmm. And you're basically relying on whoever can help you out to get equipped. You don't expect that the Ukrainian government will give you this. You don't expect that NATO or the EU.
The problem is, in the last 4 months, Ukrainian army grew almost 400%, and Ukrainian government does not have enough equipment to provide. They don't have enough uniform to provide and stuff like that, because the growth was so unexpected and drastic that, and we understand that.
Yeah. So Americans say, oh, we've sent like $40 billion to Ukraine. Where did that go?
It goes to Ukrainian army. Ukrainian army is using that. It goes to buy equipment, ammo, night vision stuff and stuff like that. So it's being used. But the problem is, again, Ukraine is 45 million country. The problem is Ukraine is the largest European country, and we have a lot of people, and our army is not the largest, maybe not the largest in Europe, but again, it grew up so fast in such a short period of time that we need everything, starting from uniform, ending with like mortars and stuff like that, rocket launchers.
Would you say that the other side is better equipped?
Yes. They've been. You have to understand that Russia has been preparing for this war for a long time. They've been in different kind of wars since 1990, when they were fighting in Georgia and Moldova and Armenia, Azerbaijan, and other former Soviet republics, and recently in Syria. So they've been working on their army for a very long time. So yes, they are much better equipped than we are.
What do you think things will look like in 6 months?
I hope in 6 months we're gonna end this war. I hope we're gonna get all the Lend-Lease equipment from the States and other countries in July, and I hope August would be the turning point when we're gonna start advancing. And I hope we're gonna end this war by November.
You think July will be key because that's when equipment is arriving from the US?
Yes.
And do you think your group specifically will get that equipment, or it's more like
some? Yeah, like I mean, Ukrainian army would get that equipment.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're gonna get some part of that as well.
Yeah. Do you think there's a chance that Ukraine will fully take back all of its area that it had before 2014?
I'm not sure about Crimea. Crimea would be hard to get back. I'm sure we will be able to take back Donbass, or what's left from Donbass.
And what do you think will happen to Russia, like in 6 months?
I hope it will break apart.
Break apart into like the smaller republics that it makes up.
Yes. You have to understand, Russia is the federation of many different ethnics and cultures and groups. Even with this war, you have Russians, you have Chechens, you have people from all over Russia who are very different in their culture and their view of life and stuff like that. Like, the good thing for us is they hate each other. Like, we see it, we know that they hate each other. Like when Ukrainians are trying to return the bodies of the fallen Russian soldiers, if we come to Chechens and ask them to accept these bodies, they wouldn't, because they hate Russians.
Because it's not.
Yeah, it's not. They're not Chechens. They're Russians, and vice versa. So I hope Russia would fall apart.
What do you see as a triggering event for that to possibly happen?
Ukraine winning this war.
Do you think that Belarus will enter the war?
Yes.
For sure.
For sure.
Why? Like, what makes you think that?
Because that's what we see today. We've had more than 60 rockets being launched from the Belarusian territory.
But those were from Russians, though, right? Not from Belarusians?
From Belarusian territory.
But you don't think that they're just using Lukashenko's territory?
I don't care. We're gonna. I think Russia's gonna put pressure on Belarus to invade Ukraine from the north, and I'm sure they're gonna do it.
Do you think Ukraine will be able to hold the front along the north and the east?
I think so. Yeah. We have a lot of equipment, a lot of men on the northern border.
Do you think Kyiv will be dangerous for the foreseeable future?
I know for sure that they're not gonna come as close to Kyiv as they did in February.
But there will be rocket attacks, and
they're gonna be rocket attacks. They're gonna be they're gonna be Kyiv is not gonna be a safe place.
What was that?
Medical gloves.
How is the medical equipment? You were injured. Can you show us your injury? It looks like you've healed up, and you were hit by shrapnel, and you were covering your arm with your head with your arm, basically.
Yeah.
And so, did something hit your helmet too?
No.
But right there in your arm, and that protected you basically. Otherwise, it would have hit your face. Were you in a trench when that?
No.
You were out in a field, and some shell landed nearby. How close was that shell from where you?
It was about 4 meters.
Okay, so it was like right next to you, basically. It blew up like right
Yes.
in your face. Yeah. Was there someone else near you when it hit right there?
There were two other guys. One of them was shot dead.
And the other guy also was presumably injured.
He wasn't injured. He was fine.
How far away do you think that shell came from that landed next to you?
I know for sure it was less than 2 kilometers.
Because you know where they were shooting from, and you were going towards where they were shooting, but you think they saw you, or they were just like randomly firing?
They saw us using drones.
They saw your drone flying, or they saw where your drone?
No,
took off from?
they were using their drone to
I see.
discover us, and the drone was correcting the fire.
I see. So if you had an anti-drone piece of equipment, then theoretically you could.
Yes.
Can you shoot these drones out of the air if they're
Yes.
flying by, or it's impossible because they're so small?
You can.
You're talking about like the flying drone, not the DJI drone.
We're talking about DJI drone.
Uh-huh.
We could hear it, the drone. We couldn't see it, but we could hear it.
And then right after that, your shells were landing nearby, basically. How was your treatment in the hospital?
Perfect.
You had everything you need.
Yeah, everything was free, and I mean, even though I was not, and I'm still not a part of the official Ukrainian army, but everything was free, and yeah.
And they did a good job. And
they did a good job.
Are the hospitals like full of guys that are injured?
Yes,
Or
and
there's still
most of
capacity?
them are wounded by shelling.
So
I haven't seen a single guy that was wounded by a bullet.
Wow. Okay. So actually, you're pretty far from getting shot. Like.
We were pretty close from getting shot with the gun, because we were fighting Russians in that battle, but most of the deaths and injuries in this war are from artillery and mortar shelling.
Is there anything that you wanted to mention?
Just want to say thank you to those people who are supporting us. They don't have to. I mean, they live their normal life, and Ukraine is far, far away from their normal life. But somehow they care enough not just to pray, but to do something.
What can they do more for you?
At some point, I would say they can create an awareness and press and push their government to close the sky over Ukraine.
And what does that mean exactly? Close the sky?
It means that the sky over Ukraine would be proclaimed no-fly zone, no drones, no aviation, no rockets, which means they would take down everything that is flying over Ukraine.
They means who?
NATO.
Which basically would mean NATO would enter the war.
They would not shoot, they would not fight against people, they would just take down rockets.
But there would be like fighter jets fighting against other fighter jets.
I don't think they're going to be fighter jets.
Ты туда? Туда.
Do you think that sooner or later NATO will have to enter the war?
Yes, of course. Putin's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. Even if he takes over Ukraine, he's not going to stop. Poland and all the Baltic countries are going to be next.
Do you think that's like a realistic chance within the next 6 months that there will be attack on the Baltics or Poland?
I hope so.
You hope so that they will enter the war and it will end sooner. What do you think the chances are that will happen? Wouldn't it be stupid of Russia to do that?
it would be very stupid, but that's what Russia is good at, doing stupid things.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Ukraine will become less corrupt after this war?
I hope so. I know that. There are going to be people that would use, after we win this war, they're going to use that to get some political points and to get into the government and use that for getting rich. But I hope that we're going to have critical mass of people that went through this war, and they would not allow those corrupt guys to do what they want to do.
How do you feel about the current government? Like, for example, how is Zelensky doing as president?
He was doing much better than many people thought he would. I think he's brave enough to do some stupid things, and I hope those stupid things would bring us victory.
Like risky things?
Yes.
Yeah, because you have to take a risk to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need ammo, not evacuation or whatever.
Yeah. Is that still true? Ukraine still needs ammo,
Yes.
of course. So now we're in Kyiv, but when do you think the next time will be that you'll be in Kyiv?
I have no idea. That's my first time in 4 months.
Mm-hmm. And did you expect to come back, or this
No.
is an unexpected?
It was unexpected.
Mm-hmm. And so with your new rotation, your new unit, you expect to be there for like 6 months, 9 months, until the end, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even when you were injured, you did not come back to Kyiv. You just stayed.
I came back to Kyiv for 1 day for the funeral of my fallen soldiers.
Who were in your group? How many people were killed?
2. And 8 people were injured, wounded.
Mm-hmm. Are those 8 guys recovered now?
Yeah. One of them is not going back, but others are.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that Ukraine has a better rate of casualties than the other side, or because it's hard to say in the news? They paint a rosy picture, but it's hard to say.
I have no idea. I know that a lot of guys are being injured, and we have a lot of casualties. I don't know if Ukraine is withholding that information, and I think the Ukrainian government is doing the right thing, not telling the numbers, but I know it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because this war is the war of the artillery.
Yeah. How can people pray for you?
Pray for the safety of my men. I don't want to come to Kyiv for another funeral.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to say? So if people wanted to support you or your unit, is there a way that they can send money directly to you?
Yes, there is a PayPal account and there is a Wells Fargo account that people can use to donate.
Mm-hmm. And if people want to, I don't know, write to you or ask you something, would that be appropriate, or it's better not to be distracted?
They can write. I mean, it's better to use Signal app.
Mm-hmm.
I can leave my phone number, and my phone number is connected to that Signal messenger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or they can write me on Facebook. Sometimes messages in Facebook get into my requested messages or whatever it is called, and I don't see them, but yeah, if I have time to spend on the internet, I would answer all the messages.
Yeah. I want to end on something a little bit more optimistic somehow. Like, what are you looking forward to after the war? Like, what's the first thing you do?
I'm gonna ride my bike.
Yeah.
Today I've been in Kyiv for 7 days now, and today was the first time I came into my garage. I looked at my bike, I washed my bike, but somehow I just couldn't get in it and ride it.
Yeah.
It feels like not the right thing to do at the moment. So the first thing I would do is my bike.
Sounds good.